How are you all? Myself, I would like to welcome you all for the 354th meeting of Agnel Toastmasters. I would request you all to stand up for the top. We provide supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication leadership skills, which results in greater self-confidence and self-growth. With this, I declare this meeting as open, and I would like to hand over this stage to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Dharmesh. Thank you, and over to you, Dharmesh.
Hello everyone. Welcome to the 354th meeting of Agnel Toastmasters Club. I declare the meeting open. Now, I have a question for you. How many of you feel that you are shy or timid? Raise your hand. I'm talking about the present tense, not past tense. So many of you feel that way. Even I am one of the cases. And I would like to share one story about my friend who is 10 times more shy than me. And he is a person who does not speak much. He remains calm and sits in the corner of the seats when we have office meetings or when we have any get-together. And he has very less friends, talks to very less people. So he observed that he had very good technical skills, but somehow, after a few years of experience, he was not getting the managerial positions or leadership positions. And at the same time, he observed that few people who were younger than him were getting more opportunities to it. So he was frustrated and angry with the situation and was wondering what to do. Even we had a department of around 200 people. And barring a few old employees, most of the new employees did not know him, even if he was in this company for more than 18 years. It was as if he did not exist for them. And that's when he realized that there is something wrong. I need to do something. So we'll park this point here, and I will ask you some of the new Toastmasters, like Toastmaster Shashank. Who is the one who has influenced you in this Agnel Toastmasters meeting, in whatever time that you have spent? Can you just name one person? Okay. And what is the reason behind that? Okay. So these are the points that you look for. So similarly, my friend was also looking for such. He thought that it would be better if he had attended a personal development course. So he went to a personality development course, and there he paid a hefty amount of money. And the counselor told that there will be 4 sessions. He attended those 4 sessions. Then the counselor told him what to do, okay, how you treat people, how to talk to people. But after the 4 sessions, do you really think that you would have gained a lot? What is your thinking? No, right? So after that, he contacted me and I told him to join Toastmasters. I told him that this is a very good platform to join Toastmasters. So he joined Toastmasters online club and he only joined for the speeches. He took speech slot and he attended the meeting when he had speech. So once in 2-3 months, he used to attend the meeting. Again, do you think really this will make a difference in him? Small difference, but not a big difference. So after a few days, he shifted to other city, but I told him to continue Toastmasters. And it has been a year now when he has joined Toastmasters. I talked to him yesterday, and he told me a few things, which I would like you to listen very carefully. He said that when he came to the stage 2-3 times, he realized that he lost the fear of coming onto the stage. When he spent around 2-3 months taking various roles and around 15 meetings, after that he realized that he was comfortable coming onto this stage. He gave a few speeches outside the meeting, and after that he realized that he had lost the fear of speaking in front of unknown audience. And after a year, when he had completed almost 30 times coming onto this stage, he realized that he had mastered on coming onto the stage and he was feeling like a pro. So I would like you all that we have come here for self-development, that the best thing you need to do to find change in yourself is come onto this stage as much as you can, and you will surely find the difference in you. With that, I would like to start the meeting. I think we do not have any guests. So we will directly move on to our next session. That is, for that, I will introduce our TMOD, Toastmaster Sanjeev. Toastmaster Sanjeev is a general manager as an account in his company. And he has joined Toastmasters in order to improve his speaking abilities, and he loves traveling and eating good food. So with that, I would like you to have a round of applause for Toastmaster Sanjeev.
Fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, I am Sanjeev, your Toastmaster for the day. It is my privilege and pleasure to welcome all of you to Agnel Toastmasters Club 354th meeting. For the benefit of the guests, I would like to explain the structure of the meeting to you. Today's meeting is divided into two parts. One is the prepared speech section, where members will be delivering speeches based on the projects and paths that they have chosen. Second is the evaluation section, in which all the prepared speeches as well as other aspects of this session will be evaluated by the general evaluator and her team. Today, we will have a workshop on effective speech evaluation led by Toastmaster Sunish. This session will build upon the insights from his online education session. I don't know how many of you attended yesterday, last evening. For those who were unable to attend, this is a great opportunity to enhance your speech evaluation skills. We encourage everyone to make the most of it. Before we start with the prepared speech section, can anybody tell when is the first day of Ganpati festival this year? 7th. Oh, everybody knows. Great. So today's theme is Ganesh Chaturthi, which is the festival of peace and prosperity, as many say. So what basically comes to your mind when we think of Ganesh Chaturthi? Anyone? Yeah, so food is always there in whichever sphere of life you go. Laddu and modak. Anything else? Celebration, enjoyment, joy, food. So these are the dancing also. I did not know. So, yeah, Visarjan. Yes.
And hearing of bhajans.
Bhajans also.
I mean, the same bhajans that we are hearing.
Childhood, yeah, of course. So everything correlates to having fun, enjoyment, sense of ownership within the community. So Ganesh Chaturthi is not just a religious event, my friends, but a grand celebration of community spirit, creativity, and tradition. which is drawing thousands of visitors. But to take you a little bit back to the history, the worship of Lord Ganesha was not something new. It was there in ancient India also, which was very well celebrated by the Rashtrakuta dynasty, Satvahana and Chalukya dynasties as long back as 271 BC. It was celebrated, and 1190, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, the ruler of Maratha kingdom, he also celebrated Ganesh Chaturthi with great passion. Later on, this festival was also carried out by the Peshwa dynasty. This is about the history part. Now, transformation of Ganesh Chaturthi actually happened during the freedom struggle. As somebody texted me today, I was glad to know that he has some knowledge on history. So this was actually, done by Bal Gangadhar Tilak. So he thought that he was a social reformer. He thought that the festival is an opportunity to unite people against the British colonial rule and to promote nationalism. He took the festival and the worship of Lord Ganesha from the home to the community. Tilak encouraged the celebration of Ganesh Chaturthi in public spaces to help foster a sense of community and collective identity among the diverse population of Maharashtra and Mumbai. This shift from private to public celebration allowed for larger gatherings and more elaborate decorations. Now with this, let me just shift the gears and welcome our tag team for the day. To keep a track of the time spent by each speaker, we have the timer for today's meeting. So Ganpati festival helped her make a lot of friends and memories because of the cultural events that used to be planned in her society, which she lived in. She also had fond memories of visiting various Ganpati pandals around the city and friends and being awed by the creativity on display. A round of applause for timer of today's meeting, Toastmaster Navi.
So we're back to the garland. Sorry. So good evening, Toastmasters and friends. I am the timer for today's meeting. As timer, my role is to time the prepared speeches, the evaluations, and the table topic speeches. But as explained earlier, we are not going to be having table topics in this meeting. Now, the timing for the prepared speeches varies from project to project, and the time will be specified by every evaluator that comes up on stage. For example, an icebreaker speech is 4 to 6 minutes. A table topic is typically 1 to 2 minutes, and evaluation is for 2 to 3 minutes. Now, to give you an example, if I was timing a prepared speech, I would show the green card at 4 minutes, which is the minimum qualifying time. Then I would show the yellow card at 5 minutes, which is the midpoint of the qualifying time range. And I would show the red card at the maximum qualifying time, which would be 6 minutes for a prepared speeches. Similarly, the timing would vary for table topics, which is 1 to 2 minutes. So green card at 1 minute, 1.5 minutes, a yellow card, and 2 minutes, the red card. And for evaluations, I will show the green card at 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, I'll show the yellow card, and at 3 minutes, I will be showing the red card. Now, we also have something which is called as the grace period. A grace period of 30 seconds is provided for the prepared speeches as well as the evaluations. So 30 seconds before the minimum qualifying time and 30 seconds after the maximum qualifying time. And for table topics, though it's not there, the grace period is only after the maximum qualifying time. So all speakers are requested to adhere to the time slot timing guidelines if they need to qualify for the award that would be declared at the end of the meeting. I will come and give my report when the general evaluator calls. Over to you, Toastmaster. Thank you.
Keep track of the R's and Ums in the meeting. We have the R counter for the day. 3 things which come to the mind of Toastmaster Robin are during Ganpati festival is bhajan songs that we have been hearing since childhood, Ganpati darshans at friends' home, and traffic jams. So let us welcome the counter of the day, Toastmaster Robin.
A very good evening to all the Toastmasters and my friends. So today I'll be playing the role of the R counter. So my duty as an R counter is to listen attentively to each speaker and make a note of the following used by the speaker. The clutch sounds are, the filler sounds, but, like, so, okay. And the filler phrases, you know, and so, and etc. And extremely long pauses. So when called upon, my report will give an account of these speaking errors. So over to you, Master Toastmaster. Thank you.
To track the good and not so good use of grammar, we have the grammarian of the day. One of his cherished memories of Ganpati festival is the time spent savoring loads of modak. So please join in welcoming the grammarian for today's meeting, Toastmaster Ravi.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I think we don't have any guests today. So, fellow Toastmaster, I am Ravi Singh, grammarian of the day, and I will pay close attention to usage of your grammar and language and try to find if there is any improper usage, and also if there is certain outstanding words, quotes, or thoughts. So, I will monitor that and I will present my report when called upon. Now, just one more minute I will take. So I am also not that good in grammar, and if I go bit of left and right, so you have to bear with me. I would be improvising here only. I would be learning. One video about grammar, which I liked a lot, and I think most of you people would also have watched it. So there is a video called Grammar Nazi. If by chance anyone, any of one you would have watched it. So how does it go? So there is a Nazi person and he is trying to find out a person who is hiding. He went to the person who has been saving this woman and asked, so if there is a long list of objects, what you are going to put? Are you going to put comma or and before the very end? So the woman hiding under the board replies, and that's how he finds the woman. And then he replies that finally, hiding under the table, I found you. Then the woman replies, dangling participle. So it's not a proper use of participle. She asks whether you are hiding or whether I am hiding. So he shoots himself. I don't know whether I'm able to explain the story to you or not. So that's and I have watched that video many times, and that kind of inspired me to excel at whatever skill we are having. Thank you very much. Over to you.
Now we start with the prepared speeches segment of the meeting. The first speaker of today will be attempting level 1, project 2 from the pathway presentation mastery. To evaluate this speech of today, we have Toastmaster Ajay. For him, Ganpati festival is an auspicious event where people and families unite. Not to forget, 3 to 4 days of Visarjan dance is something which he is looking forward to. So Toastmaster Ajay, I request you to come on stage and please read out the speech objectives.
Good evening, everyone. Myself Ajay, and I'll be evaluating Toastmaster Divyang's Piyush speech. Toastmaster Divyang Piyush is attempting his level 1 project 3 from the pathway presentation mastery. Timer, please note time limit is 5 to 7 minutes, and his speech objectives are using vocal variety and body language. Thank you so much.
Let us welcome the first speaker of today, Toastmaster Piyush. One of his unforgettable memories is when he was in Mumbai He was new to Mumbai. He went to Lal Bagh Cha Raja Darshan, and during this darshan, he suddenly saw Amitabh Bachchan walking through the VIP line. So, Toastmaster Piyush, welcome. Toastmaster Piyush, fake it till you make it. Fake it till you make it, Toastmaster Piyush.
How many of you remember the day during your college time when you got placed during campus placement drive? Well, let me take you all to the time when I was in final year and campus placement drive was going on in my college. Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmaster. It was 18th of December 2017, a Monday, when I just cleared the first round of the technical written examination of one of the leading defense public sector undertaking of India. Even after clearing the examination, I was not happy that day. I was unable to sleep because we have been told that there are still 2 more rounds to go next day, and one will be the technical interview round and one will be the HR interview round. Though I was good in technical, but I was nervous for the HR round. Getting placed while you are doing engineering is a thing that still people look up to. There were 50 students in my class and everybody wanted that job. Those days, I believe that if you talk to your favorite god and if you are able to bribe your favorite god, most of the issue get resolved. Sometimes I also still think this same. So I started talking to my favorite god and I told him that if I get this job tomorrow, I will offer you coconut and laddu. After that, I slept peacefully. Next morning, I got up early in the morning to get prepared for this next 2 rounds. And that time, my sister called me. And she asked me, Bhai, are you ready? I told her I am not ready. I am very nervous for this HR round. And she tried her best to motivate me. And lastly, she told me that, see, if you are not confident enough, fake it till you make it. I badly wanted that job, so I took her advice very seriously. I was ready to fake it till I make it. I went to my college and this first round technical interview round started. My turn came. Divyang Piyush, you are next. I was very nervous, but I was confident for this technical interview round. I went inside the interview room and I saw this interviewer. She was looking very beautiful. Though I could not tell her that, but I would like to mention one thing that she is my boss now. I am reporting to her only. After that, this technical interview round started. She asked me some questions, some drawings to draw. She gave me some numericals to solve, which I did that perfectly. I thought I did a wonderful job in technical interview round. During break time, they announced the result. And around out of 50, around 35 students was able to clear this technical interview round. And I was one of them. I immediately called my parents and sister and informed them that I am up for the next round. They were very happy. My mom was worshipping her favorite god since morning. I knew that she was also bribing her favorite god. After that, we were thinking what could be the questions of this HR round. We were contemplating like tell me your weakness, strength, why do you want to join our company and all. Why should we hire you? This basic question we were preparing. After the HR interview round started and my turn came, I was very nervous. I was super nervous. I went inside the HR room. I remembered my sister's advice, take it till you make it. I went inside with confidence. There were 2 persons. One was the head HR and second one was an assistant HR. I remember 3 questions. First, they asked me, can you go anywhere for the company? I said yes. Then he asked me, can you go to the middle of the ocean for 30-40 days in a ship? I was surprised. Then again, I said yes. He said, okay. Second question, he asked me, do you support design piracy? I didn't know what was design piracy at that day. But maybe my favorite god helped me that day. I said no, and fortunately, he didn't ask anything further. Next question, he asked me, Piyush, where do you see yourself from 5 years from now? I was not prepared for this question at all. I got nervous. What should I answer? My inner voice was saying, fake it till you make it. Piyush, think something, think something. After few seconds of pause, I said, on your chair, sir. He was surprised. He was suspicious. My inner voice was saying, Piyush, do something else. This is not going in the right direction. Think something else. Think something else. Then I said, sir, I want to become HR of the company like you, sir. Maybe, sir, I will do MBA in HR and become HR like you, sir. Then he looked convinced. My inner voice was saying, you are going in the right direction. Fake it, fake it. You are going in the right direction. I said, sir, I want to connect with students like you are connecting me right now, sir. And that day he was very proud of himself. And out of 35 students, 4 were selected for this final, and I was one of them. I think that probably answer to this question made me successful in that interview. So one thing I would like to mention here that by imitating confidence, competence, and positive mindset, these qualities will be reflected in your real life, and things will be get done. If you tell your mind that you are confident, then confidence will follow up. In other words, pretend to be confident, and confidence will be naturally shown up in your attitude. So friends, is there anything in your life you want to achieve? Try this, fake it till you make it. But I will advise you to prepare well first. Prepare well. If anything is not there, you are not able to prepare or something is there, you can try it. I am also trying to learn this. Thank you. Thank you, and over to you.
Lovely speech, Toastmaster Piyush. Just one trivia for all of you. Fake it till you make it is scientifically proven. If you go and watch a TED talk, it is available there. Fake it till you make it, and it talks about how to generate confidence, and it gives examples from the animal kingdom and other things. It's a nice speech by one lady. I forgot her name, but good that he brought this up. The second speaker of today will be attempting level 1, project 4 from the presentation mastery pathway. To evaluate the second speech of today, we have Toastmaster Nisha. First thing which comes to our mind is visiting Dagdu Seth Ganpati Pandal in Pune, where it was absolute fun with the entire family visiting all the places in Pune, starting with this one and enjoying Modak. However, as a child, she was more interested in enjoying the prasad and clicking photos rather than anything else. So Toastmaster Nisha requests you to come onto the stage and read out the speech objectives.
Good evening, everyone. My target speaker, Dheeraj Singh. His presentation pathway is presentation mastery, level 1, project 4. Project name is evaluation and feedback. The time limit for him is 5 to 7 minutes. All the best.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nisha. Now the second speaker of the day is Toastmaster Dheeraj. For him, Ganpati festival reminds him of the Lokmanya Tilak and the delicious modak that he loves to have. He visited the Grand Pandal of Mumbai thrice, but each time after visit, he came to know that it was not the actual Lal Bagh Raja, but which he visited 3 times. So we wish him all the best for this year's darshan so that he goes to the right place. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Dheeraj. Toastmaster Dheeraj, emotions of a student, Toastmaster Dheeraj.
Good evening, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, and my dear guests. Let me share with you all my experience with 2 contradictory students during my school days. One was ugly, cruel, no emotion, and strict, my math teacher. And the other side was sweet, beautiful, adorable, gorgeous, magnanimous, and caring, my English teacher. And the name of both the teachers clearly depicts their physical personality. My math teacher's name was Iqbal. Iqbal. He had only one hair left on his head. And my English teacher name was Miss Rosie.
sweet and gorgeous like a rose. Whenever I did something notorious, my English teacher was like, Dheeraj, be gentleman, Dheeraj, tuck your shirt, Dheeraj, roll down your collar, Dheeraj. She never beats any student. At the most, she will shout out and say, I have never seen such a student in my whole life. And she repeats this statement every year in each class. If the student still does not calm down, then she will use her Brahmastra. She will call PT teacher, her strongest weapon for all the notorious students. And we all know how a male teacher behaves when there is a female teacher in the class. I used to like Miss Rosie, and I attended all her class attentively. But still, my English didn't improve. Therein, I learned the importance of focus. Actually, in English class, I learned about different hairstyles and mascara. Anyway, I still feel that Miss Rosie likes me. It's been more than 10 years. It's been more than 10 years and still she is not able to forget me. Every night she messages me and says, Dheeraj, please don't message me. Let's come back to my math teacher. Tell me honestly, how many of you have seen that the teacher uses wooden scale for drawing the line? How many of you have seen? No, no teacher uses wooden scale for drawing the line. And this is because of this wooden scale, me and my backbencher friend learned Garba during the school days. Whenever my math teacher used to beat us, we used to do like. I never liked my math teacher, not because he was beating us, but because he used to interfere in my personal choice. He used to suggest me not to watch horror movies. And this irritates me. Who is he to suggest me which movie to watch? It's my preference, it's my choice. I told him, sir, it's my personal choice. He slapped me and said, fool, don't watch horror movie in the class. And that too when I'm teaching. Because of all these beatings, I decided one day that I will take the revenge from the math teacher. How I will take the revenge? I will top the math examination. And this way, I will take the revenge from a math teacher. From the last 4 years, Vidya has been topping the class. Last year, she scored 96 marks in math. I also scored 96 marks if I had all the 7 subject marks. But anyway, this year I will be the topper. I am determined to be the topper of the class. I looked at topper Vidya. I felt pity for her. This year, how bad she is going to cry. But anyway, I am determined to be the topper. I started studying. Day and night, I was reading. I was solving the math question paper. My family was astonished with my new set routine. My parents felt, what happened to my son? My sister felt, I am possessed now. Whenever I utter any word, only numbers used to come out of my mouth. This was the level of my engrossment with the mathematics. Days passed, and then came the doomsday, the day for the exam. I was more than eager to see the question paper. I was more confident this time. As soon as I got the question paper, I looked at my 45 degrees. There was sitting topper Vidya. I smiled at her. Bechari, poor girl, this year. And I started solving question paper with dexterity, with utter focus, with utter attention, so that I don't make any calculation mistake. I don't want to lose even a single mark. I wanted to be the topper of this math subject. I started solving it. I completed half the exam. Again, I looked at my 45 degrees. Topper Vidya is using map of India. Who requires map of India in math exam? Poor girl, she even don't know this thing. Again, restored my completion of this math paper. I started doing. As I turned the question paper, I'm also given the map of India. Where to use this map of India? I scanned the whole class. Everyone was using the map of India. What is happening here? Out of anxiousness, I started rolling my question paper. I reached to the front page of question paper. There, at the top of the paper, it was written geography paper. And I failed in that exam. There are 3 key takeaways from this personal anecdote. First, in the English class, don't focus on your teacher's style. Focus on what she is teaching. Otherwise, you will have to attend Toastmasters to improve your English. My second learning, don't watch horror movies during your math class, as if horror will stay with you and you will mention in one of your Toastmasters speeches. And last and most important, don't only focus on the teacher's face, also focus on the front page of question paper, whether it's math or geography. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dheeraj, for the wonderful speech. Let us spend 2 minutes to fill the feedback forms of both the speeches. If anybody doesn't have feedback forms, I can give you. Just wait. Give it to me. Done. So the third speaker of today will be attempting level 2, project 2 from the pathway dynamic leadership. To evaluate this speech, we have Toastmaster Rashmi. She loves the energy of the festival, be it young or old, everyone excited in the 10-day celebration. She also carries the memories of pandal hopping and standing in the long queue for darshan. Toastmaster Rashmi, request you to come onto the stage.
Good evening, everyone. My target speaker for today is Rishi Kumari. She is attempting her level 2 project 2 from understanding your communication skills. That's the project name. So basically in this, the purpose of the project is for her to learn about different communication styles and then identify her. Timer, please note the time is 5 to 7. All the way.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rashmi. Now I'd like to welcome our third speaker for the day, Toastmaster Ruchi. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Ruchi. Toastmaster Ruchi, unveiling my communication style. Unveiling my communication style, Toastmaster.
Good evening, everyone. Imagine this. A serene morning at my home with the aroma of freshly brewed tea and the sight of my younger sister, Kumkum, sitting comfortably on the sofa, scrolling through a mobile. Before leaving for work, I turned to her. Hey, I'm heading out, but that doesn't mean you can do whatever you want. No scrolling on mobile, no munching of snacks. You must exercise 30 minutes in the morning and 30 minutes in the evening. Got it? After these instructions, I left for work, feeling confident that I should follow through. At work, I called my team for an urgent meeting. The client just gave us this new legal requirement. It needs to be delivered by the end of next week. If we don't get this done, there will be legal consequences. Please make this your top priority. But what about the current assignment? You have to manage both. We can't let the kites down. Now, let's get to work. As the meeting ended, I could feel tension in the air, frustration, perhaps even resentment. Have you ever felt that unspoken tension after delivering instructions? I was pretty sure that my team wanted to strangle me at that moment. After a long day, I returned home exhausted but hopeful. I asked my sister Kumkum, "Did you exercise?" She gives me a quick yes. But then my mom intervened, only for 5 minutes. What? I told you to exercise 30 minutes in the morning and 30 minutes in the evening. Why didn't you listen to me? Stop bossing me around. I'll do what I want. She slams the door in my face. I was left standing there, the echo of the door still ringing in my ears, asking myself, was this really the right approach? Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think my communication style was in these incidents? Could I have handled things differently? What you just saw is called direct communication style. It's all about being clear and to the point, but it can sometimes come across as bossy. A direct communicator prioritizes results over relationships, leading to unhappy, unmotivated people. That used to be me until I found two things that changed how I communicate: Toastmasters and Vipassana. Toastmasters taught me the art of inspiring confidence through words, and Vipassana taught me to be calm and gentle. Together, they help me shift to a supportive communication style where people come first. And when people are happy, everything else falls into place. Isn't it amazing that how just a small change in approach can lead to a big difference? In fact, there are two other communication styles: initiating, which is being sociable and fun loving, and analytical, which is being precise and task oriented. But today, let's focus how embracing supportive communication style has positively impacted my life. Now, instead of getting mad at my sister for just doing 5 minutes of exercise, I applaud her. Good job. Some exercise is better than none. Let's do it for 10 minutes tomorrow. And when she doesn't feel like exercising, I suggest, how about putting on some music? It will make it more fun. Slowly and gradually, she started to enjoy it, and we have grown closer. How often do we forget that encouragement is far more powerful than enforcement? At work, instead of pushing my team with tight deadlines, I urge them. You all are doing an amazing job with our current project. We have got a new challenge, a really important requirement from our client. I know you're busy, but I believe we can handle this together. The response? Yes, ma'am, we'll do our best. But wouldn't you agree that when people feel supported, they become more engaged, more productive, and ultimately happier? To conclude, our communication style shapes our personal and professional life in ways we often don't realize. We might have the best intentions, but if we don't express them clearly, people can easily misunderstand us. So here's my call to action for you. The next time you're about to speak, pause for a moment. Think about how your words will land. Will they inspire and uplift? Or will they create confusion and tension? Let us all make a conscious effort to communicate with care and watch how it transforms our life, both at home and at work. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ruchi, for the wonderful speech. Let's take a minute to fill the feedback form. The fourth speaker for this round will be attempting level 3, project 2, from the pathway effective coaching. To evaluate this speech, we have Toastmaster Amruta. Toastmaster Amruta is a big fan of Modak. Toastmaster Amruta, I request you to come onto the stage and please read out the speech objective.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Today I'm going to evaluate speech given by Toastmaster Parita. She is going to deliver level 3 project 2 from pathway effective coaching. And purpose of her speech is to use story within her speech. All the very best, Toastmaster Parita. And time is 5 to 7 minutes. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Amrita. Now, I would like to welcome fourth speaker of the day, Toastmaster Parita. Toastmaster Parita urges everyone to opt for an eco-friendly Ganpati, which I also believe is the right thing to do. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Parita. Toastmaster Parita, the story from the closed closet. Story from the closed closet, Toastmaster Parita.
Thank you. To begin with, let us start with a question. What is India famous for? A general knowledge question wherein I would like all of you to ponder about. What is India famous for? Yes, tradition, yes. Population, yes. Diversity, yes. Sorry? Relationships, yes. Yoga, yes. Taj Mahal, yes. Wonderful answers. Thank you so much for that wonderful answers. For a while, we will just park these questions and all your wonderful answers here. Now, let us imagine a 18-year-old innocent girl residing in Nerul, a small town of Navi, Mumbai. This story is of the year 1999, where Nerul was a small town, a developing town. This fervid girl had a great zeal to do something in her life. So she opted for commercial arts and was going to Bandra from Nerul every day at 6:30 a.m. catching a local train. This girl had a zing towards pursuing something in her life. So she gradually got accustomed to train traveling because she was from an affluent family and her parents never allowed her to go in a local train, local bus. So there was a lot of, fear, or she was feeling anxious. But slowly, gradually, she became accustomed to train traveling. Years passed by. 17th July 2000 was a year. It was raining like cats and dogs, but she wanted to go to college. She got ready, she got down her building and was looking for an auto rickshaw. There was no auto rickshaw available as it was really lashing. So she walked down a little ahead to find one. In no time, she got one auto rickshaw. She quickly got into the auto rickshaw and told the driver, भैया जल्दी चलाइए मुझे लेट हो रही है 6:30 की ट्रेन पकड़नी है. Please ride the auto fast. I want to catch the train which is almost about to leave at 6:30. At 6:20 a.m. in the morning, she reached the Nehru station. To give you a little better picture of Nehru station during those days, there were only 2 tracks which were operational. Train just arrived and departed only from 2 tracks. Rest, all the tracks were not functional. Usually people used to cross the tracks and usually used to get onto the platform rather than climbing stairs, walking down the bridge and getting down to the platform. Usually this girl also used to cross the tracks and get onto the platform. But that day, she thought, let me just with celerity climb the stairs and get onto the platform. She was walking on the stairs. She started walking on the bridge. It was 6:25 a.m. All of a sudden, a man came and stood in front of her. He snatched the dupatta from her. The girl was petrified. She was shivering. She was out of her mind. The tears started rolling down her eyes. She was clueless what was going to happen to her. It was 6:30 a.m. There was the train coming from Belapur towards Nerul. There was a thunderous sound of the train that was heard. The girl was screaming, help, help. Nobody could hear her because of the sound of the train. What next could have happened? The girl kicked the monster. The girl kicked the stranger, the culprit, the assaulter, and just ran behind the stairs, thinking that something bad would have happened. And she just did not see behind if he was really coming behind or not. She called for the help. People gathered all around. People helped her. Somebody called her father. Father came running to the station. He asked, what happened? She told the outrageous story. They went to find the culprit, the assaulter, but he was nowhere there. They went to the police station to file a report. The sketch of the person was being made. They were trying to find that person day in and day out. But he went absconding. All the efforts to find that person went in vain. That person was never caught. What happened to the girl? She lost her confidence. She lost the zeal to live her life. The miserable experience that she had went through made her life disastrous. She did not go to the college then. Almost it took a year for her to get back to action, go to the college and pursue something in her life. Friends, that girl is standing still in front of you all and trying to give you her story, which was there back in the closed closet till now. There were many such stories which have been weaved years and years after they have been weaved. Few came into the limelight and few were and are kept in the closed closet. What are we doing? We are only helpless. We are only helpless. The question parked, what is India famous for? India is famous for the weak judiciary system. India is famous for not giving justice at the right time. India is famous for not having that stringent, strict rules and regulations. We are still helpless. That time in the year 1999, I was helpless and still I am helpless. Leaving you all with that thought, what is the solution? Give me the solution. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Parita, for the rousing speech. Let us spend a minute to fill the feedback form. Now, I would request the timer to present the time taken by all the speakers. Should I write?
So, Toastmaster, we took 16 minutes and 20 seconds. Toastmaster, he just took 5 minutes and 54. Toastmaster, he took 7 minutes and he did 11 seconds. And Toastmaster took 7 minutes and 26 seconds. So,
So I think all the Toastmasters have qualified. Is it? Timer? Yeah. Thank you. Now let's have a break for 10 minutes. We'll assemble back after the break. So 10 minutes, guys.
you have come back with all the And when you will speak, you will go. फिर जब नीचा go. The first speaker है उसको क्या given but then he speaks so I don't have to.
मेरा पर्पज था ना कि मैं तो यूनिवर्स सोचता हूँ तो लोग देंगे कि नहीं ऐसे, तो मैं वो टेस्ट कर रहा हूँ, ये 2 मीटर भी किया ना तो पीछे हुए ना ये भी मिल गया और ये अंदर क्या है हाँ बता तो मिला है आई थिंक यूजिंग योर नीड
When you're saying anything positive, good about तो लोग मोटिवेट होते हैं टीम मोटिवेट होती है और अटैक करेगी but when you already have a content you can go to the place there so ना ये point बहुत सारा है हम जैसे ये ना point by point और connect करके ना हम जितना एक चीज टाइम पर जिससे पॉजिटिव और ठीक हमें तो मुझे लिखते जाओ लास्ट में टाइम में 3 पॉइंट में बोलिए या तो सब कंप्लीट हो जाएगा you can refer to the power of the communication or it's a good Welcome back. The next part of our meeting is an important section of the Toastmasters. During this session, constructive feedback will be speakers as well as the overall meeting conduct. So the members can benefit from the experience for the evaluators and better. Just to let you know that the word of the today was copious and phrase of the day was zero in on. So evaluators please try to do this. Please help me in welcoming the technical of the state of Master Vidya. Please help me in welcoming take over, take us to the next session now.
To evaluate the speech of Toastmaster Piyush. So everybody have heard the speeches, right? So today's session, we have a special session wherein we will be evaluating there are two evaluators for one speech. So the reason being, we will be having an evaluation contest. So what I would suggest is you guys as well, if you have listened to the speech, try to remember and make points of that. According to you, what are the recommendations? Already a ballot was passed to you. If you are not put the feedback in that, you can take the opportunity right now. Listen to the evaluators as well. What are the feedback they are giving? So the format will be two evaluators will be evaluating each speech. I'll be calling the two evaluators, and after that, I'll be giving feedback to both the evaluators. To evaluate the first speech of Toastmaster Piyush, I would call upon Toastmaster Ajay. Please help me welcome with a warm round. बात बेच रहा है क्या? हाँ. So I would request the second evaluator, Toastmaster Padmapani, to just wait outside. I'll call him so that you are not influenced by the first evaluator. Yeah. Thank you. Just.
Ajay.
Good evening again. Toastmaster Divyang Piyush. Fake it till you make it. I will start my evaluation by asking two questions. One, which is a famous question, like must have been asked before. Second, not so famous. First question. How many of you believe in this phrase, fake it till you make it? Almost all of us, right? Okay. Second question. How many of you think our timer's curls are perfect? Libby's curls. Please be genuine. Please be genuine. Yeah? Perfect? Okay, great. In the same way, my target speaker, Piyush, he believed in his phrase and perfectly carved his speech in an engaging and humorous way. Toastmaster Piyush, the highlight of this speech was an excellent way of using personal instance and delivering a social message. That is, fake it till you make it, which everyone believes as an evaluator. Also, humor was top notch and message was top notch. Also, there was one more commendation which I would like to give you, that was audience engagement. I noticed that there was no questions in the speech to ask, but somehow you managed to engage the audience throughout the time with your humor. That is a great job. Kudos to you. However, every speech delivered in the world has areas of improvement, right? Let it be DTM or TM delivering the speech. It has areas of improvement, which takes our speech to a further level. So first, body language. I noticed that during your whole 6 minutes, 20 second speech, you did this, like you walked all around the stage and this. But what I believe personally is mixing this with your gestures, hand gestures. For instance, you had a interview with a HR head, right, where he was asking you around 2, 3 questions. So you could have gone first question, second question, a bit of hand gesture. As an evaluator, I felt that there were many places where you could have used hand gestures, which would take the speech to a much better level. Second areas of recommendation is voice modulation and usage of time. Voice modulation coming from, personally, as an evaluator, I noticed that the speech was a bit monotonous. I'm not saying that it was fully monotonous. There were some areas where you said and engaged humor. Just you said that on your chair to the HR head. When you said that where do you see in 5 years, you said on your chair. That was a good job, but there were many places where you could have used voice modulation. And also coming to the usage of time, I noticed that you have used around 6 minutes, 20 seconds, but your overall time limit allotted to you was 5 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes. So you somehow moderately ended it in the mid of it. So these are the two areas of recommendations which I would like to give you. If you follow this all in all, you are a great speaker, but if you follow this, you would be a much better speaker. Thank you so much. Yeah. After both. 2 minutes. Perfect. Please give a warm round of applause for Toastmasters.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sunish. I will be evaluating Toastmaster Piyush. Your story was good. You narrated it well, real life story. Opening was good by asking question about company campus interview to audience. Lot of humor in your story, especially about interviewer lady. You narrated in detail. That lady was beautiful. And second incident about HR interviewer, that was also very humorous, where you said you want to take his place. One more good thing about your speech was you frankly admitted that you are nervous and your confidence was low and that you shared with your sister. Then end of the story was good because that was inspiring. Finally, you shared that you got the job among 50 students, 50 candidates. You were one of them. You are one of them. So that was inspiring. At the end, there was call of action. You said that be prepared for the interview or any important job. If you are prepared, then you are confident. And one more most important thing you said, fake it till you make it. You use fake it till you make it conspicuously to zero in on your point of view. There are few recommendations. Since project was introduction to vocal variety and body language, you could have used some vocal variety in your speech, and you could have used some body language. I think that was slightly missing. Clarity could have improved it and made it more interesting. Hand and finger gestures could have made it more interesting and could have added energy to your speech and could have added more humor to your speech. Facial expression could have added humor and energy to your speech. Overall, it was engaging, good narration, interesting story with scope for improvement on use of vocal variety and body language. Thank you. Thank you.
So now we're giving feedback for the evaluators. First evaluator, Toastmaster Ajay. So he highlighted in his commendations the message and in the humor, and in recommendation he mentioned the hand gestures, voice modulation, and he also mentioned in few instances it seemed like monotonous. Now he mentioned what could be included in the message in terms of recommendation. What are the areas he could have improved upon it? Hand gestures, how? Like which part of the speech while hearing you felt hand gestures could have been used? For example, in his speech, I observed that he had said the first round of interview. So if that could be specifically mentioned that this is a hand gesture which could be held, like when he was saying the first round of interview. Or for example, inner voice, right? So inside inner voice or where he did good, where the project purpose is vocal variety and body language. As the speaker went on, he built his confidence more. And there was a point at the end where he said that the inner voice and this, there was a very strong gesture which could have been brought in commendations. So that could have worked in his hand that as he was speaking more and more, he got confident and he was able to come up with that strong hand gesture. So that is something could have been highlighted in commendation. Another thing is, while you are giving the feedback in recommendation, you are just addressing the speaker. The evaluation is for the whole audience. So sometimes we tend to have that habit. Since it is a feedback for one person, we might have that some conditional vocabulary talk to him. But over here, we are providing that performance for everybody. So just that one point in terms of giving feedback, address the whole audience. And one, this is timer was not involved in the evaluation. So sometimes as evaluator, we tend to end up trying to make the speaker feel good or sometimes end up flirting with the speaker. But it's the first time I saw it being done with the timer. Now for Toastmaster Padma Pani. So I like the way Toastmaster Padma Pani, you mentioned the commendations. The story was good. Now, why did you feel the story was good? So if that point had been put over there, it would have been good. Like towards the end of your commendation, you mentioned the message was there. It was a nice mention. So if you could have said the story was good, and the reason I think that is because primarily of the message, fake it till you make it. Humor, you have mentioned the lady was beautiful, the second interview. Why did that particular joke hit with you? Right? The way the joke was crafted. For example, she was a beautiful lady in the interview, and today I am reporting to her. Right? So in that, he already gave that suspense away that he was selected. And in terms of, again, recommendations, you had 4 recommendations: vocal variety, body language, clarity, and hand and finger gestures, facial expression. So Toastmaster Padmapani has mentioned what are the things that the speaker needs to incorporate to become better, to the areas of improvement. The what is mentioned, but how does he go about incorporating those? So that is the thing we need to include whenever we are giving the feedback. As an evaluator, when we say what needs to be done, that's the half feedback, I would say. How it needs to be done and why it needs to be done. Why, in terms of Padmapani mentioned that it is the purpose of the project, vocal variety and body language. And again, coming back to one thing Toastmaster Padmapani did was he concluded, he mentioned the commendation and recommendation, which was missed by Toastmaster Ajay. So in a normal meeting, it is okay, but from the contest perspective, you will be ranked out of 85. So always remember to summarize. So 15 points are for that. So with that, the feedback for Toastmaster Ajay and Padmapani are done. And now we move on to evaluate second speech of Toastmaster Dheeraj. And for that, first I would request Toastmaster Raghav to go out the room. And I would request Toastmaster Nisha to come on stage. Please help me welcome with a warm round.
Good evening, everyone. So everyone remembers Toastmaster Dheeraj's speech? Why? And? And one more thing. Yeah, all this is all correct. One more thing, he took us down to the memory lane of our school days. Everyone was just going down and revising what my maths teacher did with me with what my English teacher did with me. So this is also a memory that we remembered. In spite of several years, we have left the school. A fabulous start and a fantastic speech you have done, Toastmaster Dheeraj. From start to end, his speech was full of humor. He was engaging the audience. He had an eye contact and he had good pauses, connecting with the audience very well with his humor, with his gestures, and understanding the audience very well. His speech was very clear. And when he spoke about his teacher, that he liked or he disliked the teacher, how he learned the Dandiya steps, how he learned the Brahmastra, how it has been used in the school. So everything was from start to end. He was having a crisp and structured speech. I was finding it difficult, very hard, what recommendation I should suggest for him. But I found two or three. So first, when he spoke about the teacher, that he liked the teacher or he disliked the teacher. So he could use a vocal variety like, I love my teacher. That could be a tone and a gesture like that. And I hated my teacher. I didn't feel like seeing him, the math teacher. The second recommendation could be like, when he spoke, he said that the exam paper I saw, it was a geography paper instead of a maths paper, which I wanted to excel and I had studied so hard. So instead, he could use a vocal variety. I failed it. I could have done it, but I missed it. So these are the few recommendations. Overall, a great speech. You did it very well from start to end. It was crisp, clear. With these recommendations, I hope you'll take it to the next level. Thank you.
Please give him a warm round of applause.
So there is a saying, the most important day of a person's education is the first day of school, not the graduation day. We all fondly remember the school days. Yeah. The speech was very, very mesmerizing because it took us all back to our school days. I am sure when we'll all walk out of today's meeting, we'll be thinking about the beautiful teacher we had crush on. I know I would. So my first commendation to Toastmaster Dheeraj is the well structure of the speech. The speech had a very nice flow that kept the audience engaged. My second commendation is the use of humor. I actually remembered how my PT teacher used to smile at Arundhati madam in school. My final commendation is the great message with which you concluded, the importance of paying attention in class. So now what Toastmaster Dheeraj can possibly do to make the grass greener. Okay. So my first recommendation is to use more pause, to use more pause while transitioning from one story to the other. My second and final recommendation is to use a larger context to the story. For example, growing up when I became a teacher, now I exactly understand what the student might be thinking. And it has helped me in shaping their lives better. Okay, like that. So to sum up, what went well was structure of the speech, use of humor, and importance of paying attention. Okay. Areas of improvement are use of more pauses to put a larger context to the story. So to conclude, we all really had a great time listening to Toastmaster Dheeraj's speech, and I would like to see more speech in future. Probably next time I hear you, it should be on the stage of World Championship of Public Speaking.
So the first evaluator, Toastmaster Nisha, this is something I would say do it with a caution. I saw Toastmaster Ajay also do that. In the beginning of evaluation, asking or engaging the audience. That's a very dicey line because if it's an open-ended, you don't know how much time will be taken. So I saw in this Toastmaster Nisha's already 30 seconds were gone into that while you are interacting with the audience. As evaluator, you already have 2 to 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes in totality. So the more you give it to other people to engage, your time will reduce. So that is one thing I would say. As an speaker, it is okay to have audience interaction. As an evaluator, how much to have that I will leave up to you guys. Like you can have maybe one close-ended, but it's more about your opinion, your suggestion about the speech. It's not about bringing the audience to the consensus or taking the feedback. So as an evaluator, I think use that time to utilize more about your feedback. So sometimes in the meeting, it is okay to use this as this, but in a contest, I don't know, especially in an area level, how much it can be effective or it can be utilized. Then again, for Toastmaster Nisha, I could not make the difference between the various points. Like for example, in recommendation, how many points were there? I could only find a vocal variety. And the second one? That is an instant, but what is the recommendation? Better vocal variety. So vocal variety, apart from vocal variety. Hand gestures. Got it. So one thing is when you are giving the recommendation, anybody, you need to make it clear. Firstly or secondly, where it is easy for the voting judge, especially in a contest, to make it, okay, 2 points are there. Because in this case, I found it difficult. Vocal variety, I got it. The second hand gesture, I couldn't get it. And in your case also, summary was very crisp. So you have to say commendation, structured speech, this, and recommendation, vocal variety, and hand gesture. So that again, it's
reiterated, especially for voting judges in the contest. Okay, these are the points which were covered. Moving on to second evaluator, Toastmaster Raghav. I loved your opening, the way you mentioned the takeaway. So sometimes we say in the evaluation, what is it that resonates with you? And then you very clearly said that the speech made you think like, well, I'm going also, I'm going to think about the crush I had during my school. That's what the speech impacted you. So I like that opening and importance. And you again mentioned in terms of commendation, the structure of the speech. Now, in terms of the structure of the speech, if you could have elaborated in which way the structure you liked it, what was the order, what exactly the main point is, not reiterating what was in the speech, but the flow of the speech. And again, in terms of humor, for example, the way Garba dance he mentioned that the ruler came. So one or two jokes from the speech can be taken and elaborated when the point of humor is being mentioned, so that along with what is answered, that humor was added in the speech, but at the same time, how it was added. For example, there was one thing which I liked in the speech was that the teacher was sending me a message, don't send me a message. So there was that suspense and pause created, right? Then finally, when he was messaging so much, the teacher had to finally. So that was a very intellectual way of creating that humor. And that you had mentioned, use more pause and a larger context. So in terms of larger context, I couldn't get that. In shorter time, like what exactly? Because structure of the speech was mentioned was good. So I felt that a larger context could have been probably elaborated a bit further. But you concluded, you included all the points. So please, a round of applause for both the evaluator. And now to evaluate the speech of Toastmaster Ruchi, I would request Toastmaster Dharmesh to go out of the room, and please give a warm round of applause to Toastmaster Rashmi.
Good evening, everyone. So my target speaker for today was Ruchi. The first thing whenever Ruchi comes up on the stage is for the next 5 minutes, I will be in a very calm and composed state, because the speaker herself is. Every time she steps up on the stage, there is no jittery, there is no anxiousness that we see on her face, which actually makes us very calm. So kudos to you, because that really takes a lot of effort. That shows that you have a lot of preparation that goes behind. You are a very prepared speaker. Otherwise, it would just make you very conscious whenever you're delivering a speech. So this speech for today was well segmented. So there was the first part, which showed that her pre-communication, how it was. Then she spoke about the communication, that how it helped, how was her pre, and then what was the learnings out of that communication thing. And the third one was what improved and her communication from the first one, what communication style did she go to. So talking about the first part, she had dialogues in it, so which actually made it more interesting for us. The dialogue between her sister or the dialogue with her team, that made it interesting, and there was well-defined stage. The stage was also very well occupied. Then there was the material about the communication. And then the third one was where she spoke about her team and everything. So the dialogues between the team or between the characters actually add a little more essence, make it more interesting. Talking about the recommendations over here, I think the first part was very well prepared. We took time. The second part was little more rushed, because I think you spoke about the communication and everything. The second part, when you told that you spoke to your sister, oh good, today you did 5 minutes, tomorrow you can do 10 minutes. Whereas the second story of the teammate where you spoke, you said that we did well, y'all are doing well, but we will have to do more harder and everything. So I think we could have added more dialogue to it. We could have little more elaborated it. We spoke about two communication style in your speech. So one was the direct communication in the first part, and the second was the supportive communication. I feel that we could have added more communication skills, because these are not the only two communication skills which can help us in our professional thing. More like situational leadership, wherein as per the scenario, maybe we will have to go direct, or maybe we will have to go supportive. So more on a different type of communication could have been added in the second part or in the mid segment of the speech. So overall, a good speech, well segmented with good dialogues so that the audience could connect to it. Talking about the recommendations, it was more rushed. So I think a well timed speech can help us. And in case when we're talking about communication, more communication styles would have actually made the audience well aware about it. That's it. Thank you so much.
Dharmesh. Please help welcome Toastmaster Dharmesh Michelwani. Yeah.
Today in my presiding officer's speech, I mentioned three qualities which influence other people. So which were those qualities? Can anybody tell me? It seems nobody was listening to it. I will lose my time. So I will say it was communication skill, your speaking abilities and leadership skills. So Toastmaster Ruchi today mentioned about her communication style, how that influences others. And that is why I can say that the purpose of your speech was achieved. You are a very good speaker. And in today's speech, I like three things about your speech. First one was you had two stories in your speech, and you parallelly had two stories, one with your family, your sister and your mother, and second in your office, and both were going parallelly. And when you add stories to your speech, people generally tend to think what will happen next. It becomes engaging and captivating. That is I like the first thing I like. Second thing is you had role plays in your speech. You played the character of yourself, your sister, your mother, and your office colleague, and you shifted places and had some voice modulation. And what this does is that it brings characters to your speech. People imagine those characters and they imagine the story, and that is why again it becomes very engaging. Third thing is your overall delivery. You are a very good speaker. You maintain eye contact with everybody, the audience. You move around the stage and use body gestures throughout your speech. So this is the three things that I liked about your speech. Now coming to the recommendations, I have few points. First is that the story, the structure. In that you had two stories, but I think you gave more importance to your family story and not that much to your office story. So I think that there should have been balance between the two stories overall. Second thing I would like to say is that you mentioned about the various two communication styles, that is the direct communication style and your communication style, that is supportive. And you mentioned only that analytical style is also there and initiative style. But what I would like to see is that you could have explained one line about that style and why it is good or bad, whatever. So that would have added to your value to the speech, because it was about communication skills. And third thing is that audience engagement. You asked your question at one point of time, but at the same time, I would like you to pause for some time and expect the audience, like wait for some people to react, and then you start. So that is what you directly ask the question and then continue. So you wait for some time for audience to react. So this is the three suggestions I would like to give. So overall, I could say that you are a very confident speaker, good story, good characters, and overall delivery was good. But if you could balance your two stories and have proper structure in which you explain all the communication styles and wait for the audience to react, it could have been a better speech. That's over to you.
Coming to the first evaluator, Toastmaster Rashmi, I like the way she broke down the 3 points. First is the dialogue, second the material, and third the stage is well defined. Those are the 3 things she broadly commended the speaker upon. And she mentioned why each of the points
she elaborated on that. And in terms of recommendations, she mentioned that the first part was well prepared and rehearsed, whereas the second part was kind of rushed. And it was very elegantly put that more practice was required for the second part. So that's a nice way of bringing it forward. And the second thing was in terms of content as well, to have situation, leadership, and elaborate on all the four types of leadership instead of just two as well. So you mentioned where the area needs to be improved upon and how it needs to be improved. So there was a balance in recommendation, both in terms of content and delivery. So it was a balanced feedback. Yes. So one suggestion I would suggest is find a balance for evaluators. So now this is for a meeting. So in a contest, we may see a new test speaker. But since this feedback is for both in a meeting as well as contest, so we evaluate that day's speech. So sometimes we tend to go into that. So one of the things, every time she steps over here to give speech. So sometimes as evaluate, which is okay, but that's something maybe we saw the test speaker also before something. So that's something I leave to the personal discussion of the evaluator whenever the evaluator comes over here. But one of the things we often say that we evaluate the speaker on that day for that particular speech. Yet, if you want to comment, that's a personal style that I leave it completely up to you. There is no something like, okay, you shouldn't do it at all, but just wanted to make that aware, that particular. Sometimes we see that and okay, one evaluator is doing that, let me also do that. So that's something I leave it up to you. It's each speech we evaluate on that day how the speaker is delivering in terms of the project objective. Moving on to the second evaluator, Toastmaster Dharmesh. One of the things which I liked very much was he mentioned that the purpose of the speech was achieved. That's something we can mention in a normal meeting. The purpose of the speech was achieved. And I like the way his feedbacks were very crisp in terms of commendation. He said 3 commendation. And one thing which I could remember from his evaluation is that he used the same words. So it was easy for me to recollect what is the point he was bringing. For the earlier evaluator, the words were changing slightly a bit. So it was difficult for me to realize, okay, what are the commendations, what are the recommendations, were they varying or not? So when I heard to Toastmasters Dharmesh, there was consistency in terms of the words which he used for commendation and recommendation. For commendation, he said 2 parallel stories, the role players in terms of shifted spaces and voice modulation and eye contact. So he very well used that, the what, why, and how. In terms of commendation, all the 3 things he touched upon. Even in recommendation, he mentioned that depth could have been provided to both the story, and in family, the story with the sister, it was elaborated on, and the story with the peers, somewhere it lacked the time which was spent upon. So he elaborated, okay, what is it he is looking for, and the speech lacks. Again, in terms of content as well, 2 communication style, analytical and initiative can be elaborated upon. And audience engagement, that is also a good catch. Even I had that audience engagement, wait for some time. So even when I was hearing one thing, whether it's a rhetorical question or is it a question for me to answer that. So one of the things Toastmaster Dharmesh did, wait for the pause. So one more feedback I'll give is ask the audience. If you are really waiting for audience, come on, I'm looking for an answer. So over here, I was thinking, okay, I should, as an audience sitting, should I answer or wait? And then as the speaker moved on, okay, then I thought probably it will be a rhetorical question. So that was something I left with. So that's one feedback for you. Now moving ahead with the next speaker. So for the speaker number 4, Toastmaster Parita, I would request Toastmaster Anand to go outside the room, and please help me welcome with a warm round of applause Toastmaster Amrita.
How many of you had goosebumps when you heard Parita's speech? It really requires brave heart when you share these kind of stories in a big platform. And for that, I give a round of applause for Toastmaster Parita. Every girl relates to your story because every girl has these kind of uncomfortable experience in their lifetime. And that gives justice to the title of your speech. The story from Float Closet. I really liked it. Every story has protagonist, the leading character, and audience want the attention to detail and attribute of that protagonist. Like you are from affluent family. You went to Bandra for college. You took a train of 6:30. So these are the attention to detail and attributes as a protagonist. That makes your story very strong. Plus the emotions. When you mention that incident, when you uh, take it back and that fear and that disgust, we all felt that. That made the narration was very strong. Because of that, you make your project objective and speech purpose as well. There are few recommendations to improve your speech on next level. First is that you are roaming around in between your speech, which was very distractful to the audience. And the second was when you mentioned that you have to catch auto and then 6:25 you reach to the station. The pause was very long, and because of that, somewhere I feel distance in your story. When you mention these kind of details, you have to be little bit fast to give that details to the audience. Overall, excellent storytelling with impactful message. Like we don't have rules and regulations, we don't have laws, and with respect to that, also you mentioned you didn't mention the today's scenario, but you give impactful message and make your project objective. Just work on these two basic recommendations, like don't roaming around on the street mindlessly. Do it according to your story and other is pauses. Overall, very excellent speech, and just work on this recommendation part. Many congratulations for delivering your speech within timing guidelines. All the very best for upcoming speeches, and thank you so much for sharing your slow progress with us. Back to you.
Please help me with your water. It's not much.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Thank you, Toastmaster Parita, for delivering a high impact speech, copiously loaded with amazing energy, passion, and immaculate gestures. Now, let me strip down the speech into the bare elements. The first thing that I liked about your speech is the storytelling. Your character and the plot building had the 5 W's and 1 H. What, when, where, who, how, and why. Throughout the speech, you had those elements. So it was easy for me to receive what the plot is, who the characters are. The second thing I liked about your speech are the transitions. You had a pause and then a shock and awe. You did it by saying 18-year-old, 17th July, all of a sudden. These were high impact points, letting me know these are the transition points when you move from one plot to another. The third thing which I liked about your speech is about the relevance and the message that's carried along with it. How relevant is it in today's time about the speech, about the closeted stories that we all have encountered, and you brought us to that in the beautiful method of storytelling. Now, to improve the speech better, the first point is the impact. While you had nice storytelling techniques, towards the later part, when the message were to be delivered, I couldn't, if the impact could have been more severe, by asking the audience, have you ever been in such a story? Have you encountered such situations? And then zero in on the message. Then the impact would have been higher. That would have helped you deliver your message, connect it back to the title, what are the
closeted stories that you have encountered, the impact would have been better. The last is the pace. I observed that you started slowly, and then your speech had a nice highway pitch wherein you spoke of words in a high pitch and a lot of words, bringing a lot of emotion. And that was the essence of it. But after that, I observed that probably you lost breath while commenting towards the end, which could have impacted again and highlighted the message. To summarize, it was a wonderful speech, and to strip it, nice storytelling, good transitions, and perfect relevance, having a better impact and pacing it out towards the end would have made your speech more better. Thank you, and over to you.
To give feedback for the first evaluator, Toastmaster Amrita. So she had mentioned good things about the speaker. I am running out of breath listening to 4 speeches and coming to 70 values. So narration was strong. So she mentioned about the story building, the impactful message, as well as highlighted that the objective was met. So that's something we could highlight in a normal meeting, which may not be possible in a contest, because in a meeting we know the project objective. And in terms of recommendations, she said that there was unintentional movement over here, and she mentioned why she feels that. Now, if in terms of recommendation, there are 30 points in the contest. So at what point the movement could be there or should be there? You heard the speech. Where do you think it should be there? If you could answer that, the impact of your recommendation will be more furthermore. And in terms of catch the auto 625, the pause was very long. So that was a nice recommendation. You mentioned where in the speech you felt that the pause was long. So it wasn't just that, okay, there were unnecessary pauses in the speech. But if that was the only place, you could have made that recommendation also positive. That was the only place I could find it. Rest everywhere, wherever pause was required, it was in the exact required. So there would be a recommendation, but still you are reducing the impact by giving the commendation positive for the places as well. And in terms of conclusion, also work on to. I couldn't understand what I've written now. So overall, great evaluation, Toastmaster Amrita. So in terms of conclusion, also you covered both the positives and the recommendation, and also like how both the evaluators use the title closed closet. So that was something again you brought in. So as an evaluator, if you get the opportunity, do connect the title as well. So that's something I saw unique to both the evaluators for 4th speech. Now moving on to the next evaluator, second evaluator, Toastmaster Anand. Again, kudos to him. I could observe, and obviously grammarian will say the word of the day and phrase of the day both was smartly used by him. And I loved the vocabulary which he brought in terms of strip down the speeches, in terms of story building, the what, why, and how that will be answered. So those were nice places. And again, in terms of transition, in terms of commendations, he mentioned the pause and an 18-year-old girl and the year 1999. So he mentioned in terms of commendation what he liked and how it was done by the speaker and why it resonated with him. So he answered those things in his commendation. And again, in terms of relevance and message, he mentioned that both connected with him in terms of commendation. And in terms of recommendation also, he mentioned like to increase the impact, ask the audience, and very beautifully the title of the speech also was brought into that. Like, do you have that close knitted stories within you? So that was again a witty way of using the title in his connection with the audience to connecting. And the pace also, he felt that towards the end, the energy had bit dropped down. So maybe the energy could be initially conserved so that it is balanced throughout the whole speech. So again, great recommendation. And in terms of summarizing, I saw him summarizing somewhere once the red card was being shown. So that's again I don't know in terms of when the timer will come, will let us know. But
one pointer I would say in terms of evaluation, always remember, especially for a contest, somewhere middle of the yellow card, start concluding. And with that, the feedback for Toastmaster Anand is over. And in general, this I would say I like the Toastmaster Parita. Today we had amazing speeches. I'm tempted to give, but I think yeah, general evaluators that, so I won't get into that. So great speeches. I'll connect with the speakers one-on-one, and with that, I hand over to the general evaluator. Please welcome with a warm round.
Thank you so much. A big round of applause for Sunish for conducting this wonderful evaluation session, workshop. Evaluation is not just about assessing what is. It is also about understanding what could have been improved and how we can evolve. Hello everyone, welcome to one of the most important aspects for Toastmasters and of a Toastmaster meeting, and that is evaluation. Now with 2 days, we know what is evaluation, but still evaluation is assessing, analyzing, understanding what was better, what could have been better, what was good and what could have been better, how we can improve it. And it also includes giving and receiving feedback, but it also includes how to give that feedback. Like a typical Toastmaster meeting, this section is also divided into 3 parts. That is individual evaluation of prepared speeches, stacking report, and then evaluation of the meeting as a whole. But my first part was hijacked by Toastmaster Sunish. So I am left with only 2 aspects. So I'll call the tag team. So I will request the timer for today, Toastmaster Libby, and give the report for the evaluator. Over to you, Toastmaster.
I want to thank Toastmaster Praveen for helping me out with my timer role in the prepared speeches. Now the timing for evaluation, you're writing it? Toastmaster Ajay took 2 minutes 51 seconds. 51. Yeah. Toastmaster Padmapani 3 minutes 15 seconds. Toastmaster Nisha 2 minutes 12 seconds. Toastmaster Raghav 2 minutes 46 seconds. Toastmaster Rashmi 2 minutes 56 seconds. Toastmaster Dharmesh 3 minutes 31 seconds. Amrita 2 minutes 42 seconds. Anand 3 minutes 30 seconds. So Dharmesh hasn't qualified. आनंद ने मुझे चॉकलेट दिया था, तूने दिया नहीं। I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Libby, for the timing report. Now I would like to invite Toastmaster Robin for his report as our counter. Thank you. Over to you.
Well, friends, one thing I would say, one of the easiest jobs in this whole the process was that R counter. When you have all pros sitting out here, there's hardly anything to which point out. Everything went so well, and well here as in my result. When it comes to Toastmaster Piyush, there was one but, one short pause, and one repetition. Toastmaster Dheeraj had just one repetition. Toastmaster Ruchi had one short pause and one repetition. Toastmaster Pavitra had one short pause and 2 repetitions. When it comes to the evaluators, Toastmaster Anand is full marks, no observations. Toastmaster Ajay, full marks, no repetitions, no observations. And Toastmaster Nisha, No observation. Toastmaster Rashmi had 4 ums. Toastmaster Amrita had 2 R's and 1 repetition. Toastmaster Padmapani had 8 R's and 2 short pauses. Toastmaster Raghav had 3 R's and Toastmaster Dharmesh is full marks. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ruben, for your report. Now, I would like to call the grammarian of the day for his report. Toastmaster Ravi. Toastmaster Ravi, over to you.
So good evening once again. So I will start with first apology to everyone. I forget to mention word of the day and phrase of the day. And because of that, the frequency of usage has been very low today. So word of the day was used by 2 people, Anand and Padampani. And yeah, that's all. Only 2 people were able to use it. Then what were the usage of word which could have been better? So one speaker said, it made me to that interview. It could have been, it made me clear that interview. Second speaker used, how to discipline such a student. It should have been such students, not or should not have been used. And then one speaker used that your time will reduce. It could have been your speech time will reduce. Then another Toastmaster used, feedback for evaluator 1 and 2 are done. It could have been, feedback for evaluator 1 and 2 is concluded. Better usage could have been, it's concluded. Then one speaker used, it becomes very encouraging. It should have been, it becomes very encouraging. Another wrong usage was that this is 3 suggestions. It should have been, there are 3, these are 3 suggestions. Another not that good usage of sentence was where the areas needs to be approved. So it should have been which areas needs to be approved. Now coming to some good usage of words as well as phrases. So there was a lot of words which were used in this meeting, like magnanimous, gorgeous, notorious, mostly used by speaker, a lot of this used by the speaker Dheeraj, and aroma, brook, then captivating, jittery, mesmerizing, and yeah, some good usage of phrases were raining cat and dog, no time, out of her mind, day in, day out, and yeah, that's my report. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ravi, for the elaborate report. Evaluation is the art of assessing the worth and effectiveness. So let's see how effective the meeting has been till now. That is evaluation of the meeting as a whole. The meeting started on time. The star, I think so, Divyang Piyush has taken the role as star and it was your first time. So a big round of applause. He didn't use the notes. He didn't use the notes, and being the first time and telling the mission of the club is really something we need to applaud. Great job. All the instructions were clearly narrated. Challenge that I want to give him is every person who comes here on stage is a speaker, whether even it is for just few seconds. So smile. It's the first thing that happens in the meeting. As a star, we start the meeting. So we need to have that energy. So bring in that energy. How? With your volume, with smile, and bringing some creativity in the normal script. Okay, so that is the challenge I want to give you.
for your future role as the staff. Then we had our presiding officer, Toastmaster Dharmesh. Very good message in his speech. Again, even if it is few minutes, how you present your time on the stage is great. So it was loaded with questions. Great thought that you gave. Great message. Again, one thing, how the theme was shyness and timid. One way to not show that is smile. So again, I would say, Dharmesh, please bring in them smile when you're on the stage. That will help to remove that. Now I'll come to the Toastmaster of the day. What a way to start the festive season, isn't it? We are almost there with the Ganesh festivals, and what a theme. It's like we have already started with the season. So great theme, and you brought the history also, and you asked all the role players. There was a question, and you introduced them with that, whatever you had, their experience of the festival. After you reminded of the word of the day and phrase of the day in between. That was great. You added adjective for every speaker, but remember that you do it that for every speaker. You don't miss for some and you give it for few people. So that is something we need to take care. You started with the question, that was great. The time usage. So Toastmaster of the day is someone who has to blend the meeting and ensure that it is on time. So that was again a great thing. Not too much of content, but bringing everything on time. Few things, if possible, don't use notes for the initial part. That would create a great impact if you're giving it as a speech. Okay, even if it is a little thing. For what you want to talk about the role players, that is a different thing and the speech title. But for your theme, if you can start with what you want to say rather than notes, that is. And name, title, name, everything should be emphasized properly. Like first time you're saying name, title, and the next time when you say title, name, if it is it reduces the sound. That especially in contest, you have to be very specific. So we practice here that as well. So name, title, name, proper emphasis every time. Timer Libby, when she introduced the report, it was very well presented. She again didn't use the notes. She was very clear of what the role required and she presented it very clearly. And the timing report were also given very clearly. So a nice job done. Our counter, I think so we should applaud because he is also taking the role for the first time as an our counter. He was very confident and the role was again presented very nicely. So good job. Grammarian didn't read the script. Okay, he presented it without reading the script. So somewhere, though it's a good thing, but somewhere it was a drawback as well because one important thing was forgotten. That was word of the day and phrase of the day. So we have to be very clear whether we remember it or not, or else at least keep it. And if we forgot, just check whether everything is covered because this was an important aspect. Okay, you had some creative which other role players didn't do. You had some creative thing added in your script. That is again one good thing. You accepted that I'm not good, but still I'm doing it. So that's again an encouragement for us that we are here to learn. So even if we don't know, just come here, do it, and that is how we learn. So that was a good thing. Again, one thing missed was word of the day, phrase of the day. Also, that whenever someone uses it, okay, encourage it by showing a thumbs up. Okay, so that was also missing. That should also be added in the script. Today, the bark was the content of the speeches. So big round of applause because speeches, all the speeches were amazing and the bark was today the content of all the speakers. Really great speeches. Now coming to evaluation. You might have heard Master, Grandmaster in dance, India dance. Today we had evaluators and grand evaluators. So that was, evaluation is so important. We have an entire contest on evaluation. And to help members, we had education section and workshop on evaluation. Education section was informative. I'll talk about that as well. It was informative, interacting. Almost all major important points were covered and people were encouraged to take part. And today's workshop, it was challenging. Why?
the evaluation is done, and immediately Sunish had to evaluate it. So it's a very challenging thing and done really commendable. Thank you for the copious input. Yeah. So that was amazing. So we had a great meeting. We started on time and we are almost on time. So that's again a great thing. One way to ensure is that role players come on time. Today, some role players were on dot on time or even late. Okay, don't look at me. I was 3 minutes before 5. So let's ensure, including me, that role players come at least 4:40 or 4:45 to ensure that we start on time. When we like this, we need to be aware as a group that when we can enter the door, when we can enter the room, when an applause is there. So please ensure that when the applause is on, we enter the room, not when a speech is going on, so that it doesn't disturb the speaker. I request every role player to go through the agenda so that there is no confusion during the meeting. The format was really good. That is education session done on the previous day, workshop. Okay, and the speeches are also not disturbed. But one drawback I felt was that it didn't exactly replicate the content. So how, like the people who are first time taking the evaluation or will be participating in evaluating, they might not be doing that. There's a randomization going on and people will be put on that schedule. The first evaluator may not get much time. Okay, if the notes are not available, even when they go out of there, the notes will also be taken. Okay, so such few things the new evaluator who would be participating in the contest may not be aware, though I saw Sunish covered even those points in the educational session. So that was a great thing. That was the only drawback I felt. The recording was not done. I'll mention that. I felt if it would have been done, it would have been good for other members who could not have attended. Okay, one thing that I observed is that when a role is given, especially to, I request that we make a call and ensure that the person knows everything about that role and the script is available to that role. This is one instance that I felt I experienced today. So that one thing should be taken care of so that the member and the meeting goes smoothly. So that one thing is that incident happened. So that's why I'm sharing. When a new member is given a role, that person should be called and ensure that the script and everything is given and the person has proper understanding of the role. It is of course, mentors have also to be should take care, but sometimes last moment the role is given, the mentors may also not know, but it is also the responsibility of the member. Please ensure that you talk to the Vice President Education and your mentor when you get a role, so that you are clear what you have to do on stage. That is one thing I feel that we can improve on the quality of the meeting. So that is it. Evaluation and feedback are valuable when we put them into use. So I hope we zero in on all the inputs that we received and implement it. Thank you so much. That was it from me as General. I call upon the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Sanjeev, to take over.
All right, wonderful. It has been a pleasure serving you as a Toastmaster this evening, and I hope you all have enjoyed the speeches and the evaluation session. On that note, a big thanks to all of you for being here today and making this speech a success. This is meeting a success. Now I'd like to hand over to the presiding officer, Toastmaster Dharmesh.
So we have the polls. We can have the polls while we discuss about the various things about the meeting. So first, we had a guest today. So, ma'am, can you just stand up and speak about your name? How did you come to know about us and your overall experience about the meeting?
So thank you. You yourself. I would like to say that you yourself are a very good speaker, and we would like to see you more coming here on stage and speaking more. So our VP membership, Rohit Das, today is not available, but maybe next time we will share your number and he will contact you. And by that time, you can be in touch with Amrita for the membership. So, okay. So we have installation of 2 new members. So I would like to call upon the polls are by the time everybody, I request everybody to vote for the role players. And I would like to call upon Toastmaster, yes, left? Ramesh, okay, and Ravi. So maybe we can do it next time. Okay, Ravi, you can come. Ravi. So actually, Toastmaster Ravi is a dual member. He's a member of this club and also one more club, Koregaon Club. And so we are not sure whether dual members are to be installed or not, but yes, they need to be installed. So I will say something. I would like you to repeat after me. So membership in Toastmasters is a privilege, and only way to gain the benefit of the program is to actively participate. So Toastmaster Ravi, do you promise to attend club meetings regularly and prepare for all the duties to the best of your abilities? Okay. Now to all the members, do you members of Agnel Toastmasters Club pledge to support Toastmaster Ravi in his quest for self-development and promise to make Toastmaster membership rewarding and fulfilling experience? Thank you. Okay. Dheeraj? So can we have a photo? Thank you. So a couple of announcements. First is that next Saturday, generally we have meetings on 1st, 3rd and 5th of Saturdays. But next Saturday being Ganesh Chaturthi, we are not having the meeting. We are having the meeting on 14th. It was supposed to be an educational session, but I just got a call from Cyril Paul that he will not be able to come on 14th. So what we'll do is we'll plan a meeting online for that humorous speech contest. So it will be an education session, just like we had for Sunish. And we will inform you the date because we have not decided yet. So I will talk to him and inform you the date. But still, the 14th, the meeting is there. And since education session is not there, we can have few more role players. We will have the table topics also. So 2 speakers we will need and table topics. So any person interested in giving speech can connect with me. Okay. After that, we have the contest on 21st of September. We have already the forms, nomination forms and the role player nomination forms rolled out. So go through that, and I would like to request everybody to either contest or take a role player so that everybody can participate. So please do fill the form. The polls are still going on. Okay. We have one more announcement, that is every month we give away the award for the Toastmaster of the month. And how it is decided is based on the person's attendance, participation in the sense that taking up roles, taking up important roles, and then doing this role effectively, and then also supporting other club activities and
taking up roles at the last moment. So these are the various aspects which are looked upon when we decide the Toastmaster of the month. So the Toastmaster of the month for the month July is Toastmaster Rashmi. So and the Toastmaster of the month, that is for August, it is Parita, Toastmaster Parita.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
The polls are done. So the best auxiliary role player, who do you think it is? Robin, Toastmaster Robin. Best role player, best role player. That is between TMOD and GE. I mean, education session is not considered as a part of. I mean, he was the boss today, but that is not considered as a part of grand evaluation. So it was Toastmaster Vidya. पार्टी तो बनती है.
Thank you so much.
Best evaluator. Anand. And best speaker. So with that, I would like to say that the meeting is adjourned, and we can all come up for the group photo. Wait. Just one.
Everyone.